Okay guys, this is Cruiseroy with the V3 that I purchased, and someone had replaced the original ESC because of an ESC fire. The reason they sold it is they gave up on trying to figure out what was going on. It must have lightly crashed because I worked on the servos. The servos seem okay right now. They're not the best. I will be looking for some new servos, but what I found out was I went to start it up and it seems like the tail is going in the right direction, but with the, I think this is a version 2 and 2.5 ESC, it only goes up to 4 cell. Why they changed the rotation of the motor, I do not know why. So I took this, there's 6 screws to take out to take the ESC mount out and just kind of move it out of the way and pull the main motor plug out, which that's an XT60. I don't know what they call this. I don't know if this is an XT30, but it's a 3-wire, so I guess it's never really used one of these before. I've seen them on drones. But anyways, the motor's going backwards. The main blades are going backwards, and that's probably why I'm getting a funny noise from the pitch out of the motor. Didn't realize it till today, and I did ask a few questions because I don't know. I'm looking at this and it has one that's by itself and then 2 together. What I'm going to do is reverse the 2 that are together just in case there's anything here. I don't want this ESC to smoke because you can't even find these. So I was going to cut the wires, but someone said, just unsolder the connector. So I'm going to try reversing these 2 wires. See if I can point at them a little better here, but these 2 wires here I want to try to reverse because the way this connection is built, there's a primary and then there's a dual plug here. So just in my imagination, I think the motor is wired in a certain way that these would be okay to reverse. I know it's any one on an ESC, and they're usually color coded so you can just unplug them, but these have no plug, so we have to unsolder this connection. So I got solder here just in case I need it. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I have some solder here just in case, but let's get started. When you got big hands, little things you don't like to do, but hopefully this works just to get it up and flying. I know I'd like to have the 6-cell ESC. I mean, that's the whole point of this, being able to do TikToks and all that. You get a little bit higher voltage, I guess. So just take your time. I mean, this isn't a LiPo battery, it's just the motor, so there's no real risk of burning anything. But I don't have a tiny soldering gun. I just have this one here. I'm just going to put a little, dip it in the flux, and so what I got to do is hold this somehow and then pull the wires out. I don't know if I can just pull. I really don't like having it not connected to anything. There's a lot of heat here, but let's see what happens. Okay, that seemed to pop out pretty easy. It's putting it back that's going to be a different problem, but like I said, let me just get this other one. You got to be careful if you got a big soldering iron like I got. Just tug a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now, just remembering which one is which, we'll have to pull them out of the gray cap here. Gray cap. Okay. Trying to do this. Flip them. Okay. So. I'm just going to rotate this wire, and these are laying flat on here when they were soldered. I don't, just give me a second here, come up with an idea on holding it. I'll be right back in a second. Dig through my bucket of tools. Thinking something a little heavy that'll hold it without breaking it. All right. I know someone out there is going to bust my chops, but trying to think how I can one wire out of the way. Seems like this one went this way. Yeah, it's too close to my fingers. What to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, it'd be nice to have a little mount. Probably would have been better to take the motor out, but I did not. So I just kind of propped it up a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of flux on this. There's already solder on here, so from the disconnect, so I'm going to see if I can just hold it in place with these tweezers. Give it a little heat. Back off. There's one. Do a little bit of solder. Take the tweezers. I forgot to see which location this one was. Okay, it's like that. Probably doesn't matter, but it's the way it came off. Alright. Put pressure. Okay. Let it cool down a little bit. Clean the flux off my tools. Close the bottle of flux. Clean the soldering iron. Unplug the soldering iron. Alright. Now everything looks okay. Take this vice grip off. this rice grip off. Hopefully I didn't hurt anything. When you got big fingers like me, you don't typically like working on small fittings like this, just making sure nothing's touching here. It's kind of hard to see. Take a piece of paper, put it between there. It's not as nice as what they did, but it's definitely not touching. Alright, put the cap back on. Thanks for the person that told me just to not cut the wires, but just swap them out through the connection. Now hopefully the first time was correct. What I did was swap out these two. Now I gotta fish it back up through the frame. Alright, check out the plug. I'm just going to line that back up kind of where it goes, because they don't give you a lot here. Put a lot of pressure on that ESC. Okay. Now I think we can do a little test here. Grab a little test battery I got. Should have some juice in it. Now, what happened is, if you can see, one way it actually acts with the gear drive now, they actually acts like you could do an auto land, but you really can't because the tail will stop moving. So when this motor moves, it was moving in this direction, so it was slowly bringing the prop around. It's supposed to be in this direction, you know, pulling the gear. So let's see what happens. I'm going to pull the radio in front of me so I have more control. And like I said, this battery's probably got enough voltage to test what we need to test. Alright. Once she's sitting there, it's purple. I want to turn it to blue. Bring the sticks down until it starts blinking. And I'm going to hold it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So with the right battery, it's working. Okay. Just wanted you guys to know. Now I just got to figure out if the tail rotor is going the right way. And I think it is. If someone can tell me if it's counterclockwise or clockwise. Take care. Hope this helped. Bye.